Radio and beyond. Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio.
And beyond.
Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio.
And beyond.
Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio.
And beyond.
Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio.
And beyond.
Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio.
And beyond.
Radio and beyond. Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio.
And beyond.
Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio.
And beyond.
Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio.
And beyond.
Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio.
And beyond.
Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio.
And beyond.
Radio and beyond. Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio.
And beyond.
Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio.
And beyond.
Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio.
And beyond.
Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio.
And beyond.
Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio.
And beyond.
Radio and beyond. Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio.
And beyond.
Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio.
And beyond.
Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio.
And beyond.
Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio.
And beyond.
Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio.
And beyond.
Radio and beyond. Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio.
And beyond.
Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio.
And beyond.
Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio.
And beyond.
Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio.
And beyond.
Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio.
And beyond.
Radio and beyond. Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio.
And beyond.
Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio.
And beyond.
Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio.
And beyond.
Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio.
And beyond.
Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio.
And beyond.
Radio and beyond. Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio.
And beyond.
Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio.
And beyond.
Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Beltway Radio
and beyond.
Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio
and beyond.
Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio
and beyond.
Radio and beyond. Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio
and beyond.
Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio
and beyond.
Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio
and beyond.
Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What? Beltway Radio
and beyond.
Say Beltway Radio and beyond. What?
Yes, sir. Good morning, good people. Saturday, February 25th, 2023. This is Spade of Spades podcast. We are back. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. My cousin, he is on the way. He's a couple minutes out. Me and Scoop is here, so we're gonna go ahead and and get started before he walks up. So okay, real quick. I gotta get this off my chest.
Okay.
Can we, bro? Remember when we was growing up and we wasn't driving yet,
Yeah.
and I don't know if it's because we didn't pay attention to it, but it seemed like now driving around here is ridiculous, bro. Ridiculous. Everywhere, it's a racetrack. It's a race everywhere. To the grocery store parking lot, to the gas station, to BJ's gas station, to Costco's gas station, to work, to home. I don't get it. What is going on?
I don't know. I can't even tell you. I don't know how half these people had got license. I'm trying to tell you. Well, most of these people must have got their license during COVID when they weren't tested for real. Because this is ridiculous. Certain these people cannot drive. I mean, cannot drive, don't care about signal. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going on this lane. I'm like, we are doing 60 miles per hour, and you going to change 2 lanes. Wow, no signal light at all. That is absolutely ridiculous. Do you get mad at me when I look at you funny? What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
People don't I don't think people understand that, like, when you drive, your life is in the balance. Especially when you're on the highway. Real talk.
Yeah.
It's one false move, it's over with. For real. When you're on the highway, sometimes when you going that fast, it's really.
What's up, y'all? What's up?
It's really one false move. You hit a car, everybody fucked up.
Bro, I'm telling you. Like, right here in the middle, family.
Good deal. You know, I'm not trying to impede.
What's up, cousin?
How you living, man?
Good, man.
Everything good. Yes, sir.
Oh, man.
So, we was just talking about how. Oh, I'll let you go ahead and get set up. But now we were just talking about how driving around here at home is ridiculous now. Oh, it's probably over there. Yeah, I'm driving to the studio. I'm chilling. Like I'm bumping Glock new CD. Like
I came out with a new CD?
Yeah, Glaucoma 2.
Yeah,
Oh, shit. I need to
Glaucoma 2.
I need to hear that.
I got my hot chocolate. I'm chilling.
Mhm.
And I'm cruising.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I'm cruising.
Right. Okay.
And I mean, everyone's just going 85, 90 miles an hour, 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, where you going?
And when the crazy part is, it's worse when you go to other states.
Bro, in Atlanta, it's in Atlanta, it's worse.
Bro, the first time I drove on the highway was when I went like for an extended period of time is when we drove down to Tuskegee when I went to college. My mother was like, the best way to learn is to throw you in the sharks, in the deep end. Cause it was 8 lanes of hell. 8 lanes of hell. You getting cut off from 5 lanes. I didn't know that was possible until I saw it. I didn't even know if somebody would have been like, you know, you can cut somebody off from 5 lanes. I'm like, that ain't even no highways. What are you talking about? Bro, they was disrespectful, beyond disrespectful. That's why, like, here it's like, they're bad, but like, nigga, when you go to other, man.
But see, sometimes I wonder why, like, yo, like, why is my insurance going up? Or why is it
Everything going up, cuz.
You know what I'm saying? But when I think about it, I'm like, yo, like this area is just wicked when it comes to driving. Mm-hmm. And so the insurance companies, they're like, yo, like y'all got a lot going on over there. We're gonna jack up y'all insurance premiums because they look at the percentages of the accidents every single year. And they determine off of that, like, all right, this is how we're gonna break the premiums down by state or however they do it. But
because before we turned 25, that was high.
Yeah, we couldn't wait to turn 25.
Exactly. I'm telling you. When I looked at it, I was like, whoa. I was like, why is it this? You know what I'm saying? But we reckless, though. You know what I'm saying? How many times you heard your man wreck this car, wreck this new joint?
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I mean, every now and then, like if I'm by myself, like yeah, I'll open the car up just to get the carbon out.
Yeah.
But all that weaving in and out of, I'm not doing that, man. People got their families in the car,
Yeah.
they kids.
I ain't want to do that when it's like a code red emergency. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get somewhere.
But you're
now.
have your
I get it
hazards
now.
on though, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not even caring about the hazards. I mean, okay, now since you said that's a good idea, but I ain't give a fuck about that at the time. I need to get to where I'm going, or I'm late for work, or an interview or something. You know what I'm saying? Or I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I think we just.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I think we just live in a time where everybody's just in a rush to get somewhere, and it doesn't even have to be anywhere in particular. It's just, I guess, society puts this pressure on us that feels like we always have to be doing something and always have to be somewhere at some point. And not only that, we just lived in a state where people are just aggressive, and it shows through their driving, and whether it be DC. Baltimore, Virginia, like I can't drive in Virginia. They drive a little bit too slow for me. But nevertheless, man, it's like folks don't got any sense on the road.
Yeah.
And you got to be careful. You got to be mindful because it's almost as if you have to drive for two people, right? And when I say that, what do I mean? It's like you have to drive for yourself, but more importantly, you have to anticipate what the next guy is going to do because you know how people drive. So you got to be thinking 10 steps ahead to avoid potential like a car crash or any type of risks on the road because that's just how people drive. I don't know what it is or why people are so angry.
I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like folks need to find some type of release or something.
It's crazy. Like when driving here, you need to have AAS, accident avoidance skills, because it's off the chain. I'm
like
telling
that.
you, the amount of almost accidents I had. It's
Nah,
like
facts. Yeah.
It's like you real life had to have like the lessons that you learned when you was going to driver's ed. What to do in certain instances, and it has to be embedded in your head because it's no time to think. You got to just act. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And us being athletes, we had to do that all the time. So like, they cut over. Oh.
It's like a natural.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like a natural reaction.
It is
You
natural.
just stop it like that. Oh. It's ice. Oh. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be on it, and you can't think about it. You got to just react.
You guys just do, right?
You just got to do it, and boy, I'm telling you, you know what I'm saying.
That's why. Cause see how I drive. I drive 5-7 cars in front of me. Like, I'm not looking at the 2 cars in front of me or whatever. I'm looking ahead of them.
Several cars in front.
Because
I'm looking on the side to see if I got a skirt real quick. You know what I'm saying?
No,
See if I can.
all of that. Yeah.
Especially
all of
them damn deers when
All
they
of
come
that.
out and them little baby coyotes and shit.
All of that, yeah, because
them foxes and shit.
yeah, because the people that's in front of you, they may be on their phone, they may be texting or whatever.
Most likely.
They may
I
be
see
looking
somebody
at the
text
road.
in the highway doing like the speed limit 65. That's insane.
Yeah. But my point is they may never be looking at the road, and so we know how traffic stops instantly here on the Parkway, Suitland Parkway, in the city. It don't matter where you are. Like when traffic stops,
Parkway.
it's gonna stop instantly. You could be going 80, and if you're not looking, and if you're not looking, and you behind that person, well, shoot, you see the accident coming. So all right, let me just go ahead and get over because I know. This person
then still at the same time look in the back and look in the rear view, make sure you're not about to get rear-ended. You know what I'm saying?
That too, right?
You ever had to do a quick shop and stop and you see the person in that rear view, you like,
I just pray that they don't.
You get the bracing or something like, whoa, wait a minute.
Because what I do is if there's like a shoulder or something like that,
yeah,
I'm either going to jump in that and stop, or I'm going to if I
another
got
lane
on either side, I'm gonna just jump in that lane because you're not about to hit me.
Right? And I like the fact that you mentioned because I do it as well, whereas though you have to pay attention to several cars ahead, right? Because that gives you an idea of pace and traffic,
the flow,
so you can anticipate and you can kind of gauge how fast you need to be going, or if you need to slow down, or if you know there's going to be that sudden break, whereas though you're like, let me slow down now because I know these fools in front of me
exactly
going to slam the brake.
I mean, a prime example is You on 495. It don't matter which direction you going. You in your car. You see that there's traffic stopped ahead on the horizon. Everyone got their brake lights on.
Mm-hmm.
But then you still got people in front of you or beside you or whatever still doing 80.
They zooming. You be like, man, this guy's
Like, don't you see traffic is coming to a stop
coming to a halt.
in front of us? But yeah, man. Listen. But nah. Before we move on, yeah, make sure y'all be safe on these roads, man. Cause, bruh.
Please.
And you said it, brake lights. You ever been behind somebody with no brake lights?
Yeah, all the time. No brake lights. It's flickering.
Bro. Oh, what you doing?
What you doing,
Oh,
right?
you stopping?
Those are the folks you gotta get from behind.
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
get
You
up out
gotta,
of
you
there.
gotta get from behind because you don't know what they doing. They don't know what they doing.
Yeah. No,
ever had
because
somebody
because some cars, it can be confusing though because some cars their fog lights is on the brake light, like my car. So like the fog lights is so when I turn my fog lights on, it looks as if though my brake lights is on, like I'm stepping on the brakes, but I'm not.
Oh, it just on.
It's
Straight.
just on. Yeah. So if it's raining, it like illuminates a little bit brighter, so that way people behind can see the car.
What's going on?
But
Right.
usually when that's like that, it's usually the back lights when the fog light is on. It's not like all the way bright, and when
All
you
the way lit, right?
it's not all the way lit, and when you brake, it lights up more. That's what it usually does. Your car don't do that.
Yeah, no, it does because I still have like a third like brake light in the middle.
Oh yeah, then you Gucci then.
Yeah, so when I brake, you see that lights up. That's how you can tell that I'm braking
Okay.
when I have my fog lights on. But some people they be looking at me like, why? I'm not braking. It's raining out here. I'm not trying to. I mean, I got good time. I'm not trying to be sliding all over the
Don't let
road.
it rain out here either.
Oh my!
my
Rain,
God.
snow.
They are afraid to
It don't
drive.
matter.
Wind.
It don't matter.
Any
That
type of
wind
weather
crazy.
folks just forget like they know.
When it's
like,
real windy and you on the highway and you feel your car getting pushed by the wind, you're
It's
like,
crazy,
whoa.
right? That's how you know.
Hey.
Mother Nature is strong.
You're like, wait, what's up?
You're like,
How you
whoa.
doing?
Yeah,
Yeah, how you doing?
I know I ain't do that.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
And you still trying to fight
Like,
through
I
it
know my
going
skills
90.
sharper than that, right?
I sure did not
Push
make
you
that
half a lane
maneuver.
over. You
Yeah.
like, whoa,
I did
that
not
wasn't
make
me.
that maneuver. I'm
Like-
sorry, ma'am.
It make you forget that, like, damn, did somebody just push my car? Like,
Exactly.
that's the win.
Yeah, that don't
That's the win.
be whipping. You ever have your window in your room open when it's
Oh,
windy,
yeah. Oh,
and
yeah,
then your
yeah,
door
yeah,
keep
yeah.
opening and closing?
Yeah.
and
The
shit?
door just slammed.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
like,
yeah.
hello? Yeah. You want another room? You live with?
Who's there?
You call me? You not.
Who's there?
Like, who that?
Nah, man, but on a serious note, yeah, y'all be safe on these roads, man. But, man, we got special guests in the building. Long overdue. We've been talking about it for a while, trying to get you on the show. You're a busy man.
Appreciate it.
Family. So I'm gonna tell this. I'm gonna tell the story
It's weird.
how we're cousins,
Random and weird.
random and weird.
Well, how I found out y'all cousins or how y'all cousins?
What?
Both.
Both, yeah. Both, yeah. So when was it? It was what was it? 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, in July. Was it July? I think it was July.
The fact that you can remember the month is crazy.
2021. Shout out to Davy J. He threw that all white party at I forgot the name of the venue.
You right? Was
Yeah.
it DC?
Mm-hmm. No Impressions played.
You said Baby J.
Davey
No,
J.
no Davy
Oh.
J. Shout out to Davy. I gotta get him on the show too. We talked about that too. But he busy too. But so I went to the party. It was me, Taryn, it was Shayla. It was like a group of us. And Tunes, I think, was Joe with you? Or did he come later?
He came.
Yeah.
And I happened to just see him there. Matter of fact, he's having a get together tonight for his birthday out in Baltimore.
Okay.
Which is
Happy birthday,
interesting.
Joe. Shout out to you, bro.
Shout out to my man Joe. Happy B-Day.
So yeah, we was there, and my cousin, he was in this. It was like a VIP. It was like a roped off section.
Little section and stuff like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I forgot how we started talking, but I think we were just vibing. And then I think you said your first and last name,
because we was having a good time.
Yeah.
Music was going, and for whatever odd reason, when you come across someone like, oh yeah, man, I see you having a good time as well, just good energy, positive vibes. And I can't quite remember who sparked off the conversation, but nevertheless, though, we just started engaging one another. And then I was like, yeah, bro, by the name, what's your name? He was like, my name is Vic. I'm like, okay, da-da-da. It's like, I'm Tunji. And then for whatever odd reason, I gave him my last name, or he gave me his last name. Like, I think I was like, take my number down, or you like or give me your number. I was like, what's your number? And I was like, I deal with first and last names,
Yeah.
as a respect factor.
Yeah.
And he was like, Coker. I'm like, hold up. I'm like, that's my last name. I was like, that's my last name. I was like, that's weird, dude. I'm like, where you from? He was like, man, he's like, I'm from Sierra Leone. I'm like, my folks from Sierra Leone. I'm like, wow, we might be related. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that came about. And then ever since then, man, we just been locked in. It's been good energy, good vibes. And man, it's just like you never know who you may come across. And the fact that we're just so random and for whatever odd reason, we found out that we was related, gotta be. You know what I'm saying? So, and since then, it's just been good energy. I run into him every so often. Last time I actually seen him was he was coming out of Gold's Gym. And we just chopped it up briefly. And he was like, yeah, man, I got to get you on the show. And then subsequently, we're here. So I had to pull up on my man. Like he mentioned before, it's been long overdue, but I'm glad I could make it this morning. And, I'm thankful for the opportunity to be here.
Yeah, bro. It's not too. That's crazy how you just. It's a big world, a big small world.
Big small world, right?
Big small world, because our family is from the west side of Freetown, so it's not. Whenever you see our last name and you're on the west side of the city, like that's how you know we all family, because not too many people have our last name
At all, right?
So that's how we was able to connect the dots on that. But I know you're heavy into the fitness thing.
Absolutely.
So explain, because you were an athlete too.
Correct.
So explain how all of that came about as far as the fitness stuff.
Sure.
Because it truly is a lifestyle.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
It's another full-time job. It's a part of your day, really. Because not going to the gym, for me, it's like it affects my mood, and it throws off my rhythm as far as how I go about my day,
Balance, right?
my balance, how motivated I am, everything.
Sure.
So just speak on that, and why you decided to further dive into that lifestyle.
Got you. So to kind of piggyback on what you mentioned, yeah, a former athlete, D1. I played defensive line at Towson University. Got there in 2011. Graduated in 2015. And as you guys know, if you watch sports, which I would imagine, the D linemen are the heaviest guys. D linemen and the offensive linemen, the heaviest guys on the field, right? So the emphasis with my coaches, especially on that level, was always, man, you got to eat, you got to eat, you got to eat. So they were always harping on you have to eat. Obviously, being in a college environment, the nutrition wasn't really there. You got the campus food, and then you got all these other places surrounding campus, the fast food, the greasy stuff, you name it. Tastes good, but as you know, isn't the best for you as far as quality and then nutrition-wise, right? So me being me, I like to dress. I like to wear nice clothes. I like to feel good, look good when I go out. And I realized playing ball, playing D-line, and being one of the heavier guys on the field, or being a part of the group of heavier guys on the field, obviously there's a lot of things that you can't wear that you would like to wear, right? You see a lot of folks wearing things, you're like, man, I know I look good in that, but right now I'm just not at that size, or I know if I try to put that on, it's not going to look how I would want it to look.
Hell yeah.
Just because I got the excess weight on me, and I just know in my mind it's not going to look as good as I would want it to look, right? So I told myself after I was done playing football, right? I told myself one of my incentives for wanting to lose weight or shred all those additional pounds that I no longer needed because I was playing ball. I told myself one of my incentives were like I want to be able to wear whatever I want to wear and feel good within my clothing, right? So that was one of my biggest motivations, just to be able to fit in the clothes I could never wear while I was playing ball because obviously I was a little bit heavier. So in school, and thank God for my strength and conditioning coach, which a lot of folks took for granted back then, right? Older white gentleman, but he was very, very flexible, and he always preached functional movement, stretching, mobility, things of that nature, things to be loose, agile, be more mobile, be more functional and fluent with how you move. So a lot of folks take that for granted. So we would have like pre-stretches or warm-up stretches before we get into the before we got into the actual workout itself, which were really rigorous exercises. You can imagine college football, we're throwing around weight,
Right.
bench press,
Right.
deadlift,
Right.
power clean, back squats, you name it. You got 400 pounds on your back. Guys is repping out 375 for 20 reps, X, Y, Z. But nevertheless, though, the point I'm trying to make is he was so structured with how he wanted us to be, like how we wanted us to stretch, and uh, we all had workout books that we would follow, and in the workout books he would have examples of stretches, how to do it, what it would work, and the benefits of them. Right? A lot of folks took that for granted, myself included. Like I didn't really take the stretch as serious as I do now, and realizing this years later, and you look back and you wonder like, man, this is where all the ACL injuries came from. This is where the meniscus tears came from. This is where hamstrings came from. It was just a lack of functionality, mobility, and just being able to stretch your body, right? So I told myself once I was done with football, I wanted to kind of change up the way I exercised, right? I kind of wanted to get away from the traditional heavy lifting and like well, I feel like it was over strenuous, because
It is, yeah.
if you're in the gym environment, you realize, man, all that heavy lifting, regardless of if you have proper form, regardless
Right.
if you have good technique, regardless if you have a weight belt,
Right.
or all these other gadgets or essentials that aid you while you're in the gym, you realize that the heavy lifting over a duration will start to will start to it'll start to have an impact on your muscles, right? It'll start to the wear and tear starts to come in early, and after a while, your body will be depleted. Your muscles will be depleted, no matter how good your form is, no matter how much you rest. It's just the nature of you moving heavy weight over a period of time. It's just going to be strenuous on your muscles, right?
Right.
So I kind of wanted to get away from the heavy lifting and the traditional heavy heavy atmosphere of what I was doing before I was playing football, and kind of transition into a more functional, more mobile style of exercise. So I started to incorporate more stretching. I started to incorporate more resistance training, more
Yeah.
calisthenic body weight type exercises, because I'm realizing there's a difference between being strong with weights and being strong within your body. There's a big difference, and folks need to understand that being strong within your body is completely different from being strong opposed to using weights, right? So I realized that during my journey, and I'm still learning every day. Like I always want to learn and always want to progress and always want to further my knowledge as to how a certain style of training has impacted my body, my physique, and
Absolutely.
subsequently how I think, how I operate, my mindset. Right? I'm realizing that, and nobody really tells you this, but stretching is actually more important than the exercise itself.
Facts.
A lot of people disregard the stretch, and they don't realize that as a result, how you would feel normally had you stretched before your workouts. You would feel less soreness
Yep.
after the fact. You would feel less pain. You'd be able to move a lot more fluently. You think a lot more clearly, because in essence, all stretching is breathing for your muscles, right? It's what allows your muscles to breathe. It's what allows for proper muscle growth, blood flow.
Yep.
And not only that, but you wake up in the morning feeling like a feather, like you slept on a cloud, right?
Absolutely.
And that's why I dedicate, before I touch any weight, before I touch any or get into any type of exercise or do any type of movements, I dedicate about 35 to 45 minutes of stretching. Not only stretching, but foam rolling and functional movement, right? So it's all
What was the first thing you said? Foam rolling?
Foam rolling. Yep.
So a foam roll is, imagine a foam in a spherical. It's like a spherical tool, but it's a foam padding, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, foam roll.
All right,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I
So
got it.
it's pretty much your alternative to a decent massage, if you would, right?
Right.
So I kind of use that to get the kinks and the knots,
Yep.
and relieve some of that tension that's built up in my muscles. That way, when
Like
I
the
actually get
cancer.
into the workout, like I feel like I'm just skating, like my body's just is on cloud 9, and that's how you should feel. But subsequently, after switching my style of exercise and adopting a new method for how to train and how to move my body and what works, kind of like a trial and error ordeal, right? Implementing certain things, taking certain things away. I've realized like I've sculpted a body that I can really appreciate, and it's a reflection of my training, how I train. So I think of everything when I train. I think about moderation and I think about volume. Now, when I say that, what do I mean? I mean moderate weight. So I no longer bench press, truth be told. I don't do heavy, I don't deadlift at all. I don't do your traditional like squat rack. And and I'm not knocking anybody else. You know what I'm saying? It's all subjective. Whatever works for you works for you. But in my experience, I realized that all that heavy lifting is counterproductive as far as your longevity and how durable you want to be, and how you, if you want your muscles to last a long time or for a short period, right? And I realized that by adopting this new method, I'm able to recover faster. I'm able to feel better. I rarely get sore, and I'm in the gym damn near 7 days a week.
Right.
Some exercises are more low impact than others. However, I'm realizing certain things that obviously throughout my fitness journey are things that work for me and can work for others. But yeah, like I said, one of my biggest incentives were just to lose weight and be able to fit the clothes I could never wear. And obviously I can pretty much wear what I want, right? Because like the clothes fit like a glove. And that's because I put in the time to shred the pounds. I put in the time to figure out what works, trial and error, implementing this, taking away that. And it's showing with how I look, it's showing with how I operate, you know what I'm saying? And folks see the physique, and I'm always getting like, man, how do you get like that? How do you? And I tell people all the time,
It's hard work.
it's hard work. It's hard work. It's dedication. It's discipline. It's effort, and you just have to have that why factor. Everybody starts a fitness journey for whatever reason. It could
Yep.
be you went through a bad relationship. It could be you want to improve on your health. It could be you have hereditary health issues in your family.
Yep.
That you want to be the person that wants to change the narrative.
Yep.
Moving forward, right?
Yep.
And then above all things, it's just a release. I encourage everybody to get into fitness or incorporate some type of physical exercise within your daily routine, because it's necessary, right? We're humans. We need to exercise. We need to be able to detoxify our bodies, our minds, our soul, and I feel like exercise is top tier when it comes to doing so.
Right.
For several reasons, right? It's therapeutic. When you're exercising, you release endorphins in your brain,
Yep.
and it makes you feel good. And then not only that, but you feel like you accomplished something, right? typically when I'm done with my exercise, I feel like I can conquer the rest of the day. I feel like I can achieve anything. I feel like there's no limits that I can't, or there's no barriers that I can't break.
Right.
And that's just a few things to name that fitness allows me to do or allows me to feel after the fact or when I'm done. You know what I'm saying? So I encourage everybody to embark on their own fitness journey and see what it looks like for you. Everybody's story is different. Everybody's results are different. Everybody has a different body. Nevertheless, though, you can always achieve the desired body, and it'll be always specific to you. You know, everybody's genetics are different, and
Facts.
you see what I'm saying? So you can't look at anybody else. You just have to start somewhere and continue. However your journey turns out is however your journey turns out.
I'm glad you brought up two things that stick out to me.
Sure.
Stretching.
Oh my goodness.
Stretching. Because
Oh my goodness.
even going back to when we were athletes, we were younger, right? We all know those people who didn't take stretching seriously during practice. And I always took stretching seriously because I didn't want to be one of those ones to get injured and not be relied upon to do my job. And so stretching, I always took that seriously because, like you said, it does set the tone for everything else.
Absolutely.
It does prevent injuries, major injuries sometimes. I mean, there's a little bit of luck involved as well, but stretching sets the foundation for everything else that happens after that. Because even in the gym, when I stretch, I take 25, 30 minutes to stretch.
Sure.
I'm just taking my time because as you get older too, it becomes even more important to stretch just as long because your joints and your tendons and your muscles are older.
Not even just the exercise to go to work. You know what I'm saying? Let me do this. let me break out. Like the older I get, I realize vitamins and stretching is the key to life. I'm telling you. I never get. I remember. I think I told you this. It was a couple years ago when they had the Bounce reunion, the Echo stage. I chopped my ass off. That next morning, it was over.
It was done.
I had to make a PSA on Instagram. I'm like, hey, don't y'all tell me to ask me to do shit today. I'm in the bed today. My best friend is going to be warm water and Epsom salt because I couldn't move. My whole body balled up like homework. I'm telling you, I was so mad. I was like, I have to stretch no matter what. Like, I have to stretch. Like, when we went to Bliss that time, I made sure. I was like, yeah, let me get it in before XIB come in because I know they about to show out. Let me get it in because I got to work tomorrow. Because if I don't, I'm not coming in. I'm not coming in. I'm telling you.
That's a fact. And then
You got to stretch.
Sometimes
I stretch before I drive. When I got to drive like a long period of
Long
time,
distance.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, go ahead.
I mean, the other thing too that even as men, like we kind of just like throw to the side. I'm still trying to get myself into it.
Sure.
Shout out to Adriana, but yoga.
Yeah, I do want to hit her up, and like, cause I want to be able to make a move and not pull a hamstring. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean it's obviously a form of stretching. It's a form of meditation as well. But as men, we look at it and it's like, that's not a very masculine thing to do. But
It's a very important thing.
But it's a very important thing to do too for us, even though we kind of throw it to the side. Now, I'm still working my way up to just saying, all right, I'm gonna get into it. Just because I haven't been breaking that barrier yet. But stretching, number one, and number two, nutrition.
Oh, wow.
That you talked about.
That's the most important.
I'm working on that.
I mean, that's half the battle. Before
working
you
on
even
that.
get to the gym to the point where you're stretching.
That's more than half.
Right.
We're talking about 80%.
Oh man, I mean,
I'm working on that.
Might be 90%. I'm not gonna lie to you.
and see, for us as black folks,
Sure.
we have all this greasy shit within arm's reach of us, and
That's systematic too.
It is. It is
That's
systematic.
a whole other
That's a whole
topic.
nother
It is systematic.
It's unfortunate, but I'm not. Go ahead, brother. Yeah,
It is systematic, and it's regional. It's depending upon the area you live in as well. But we have to take it upon ourselves to take better steps to eating better. It's so important because a lot of the heart disease and the high blood pressure and all of that is some of that stuff is hereditary,
it is.
but a lot of it comes from our diet
Yep.
as well.
It all comes from the diet.
Yeah,
It all stems from the diet. Nutrition is key, and regardless if it's hereditary, we have to do our part to educate ourselves. Right? We have to understand that hospitals and the medical environment or the medical realm,
Yep.
they're all in cahoots with the fast food industries. It's just like a revolving door, right? You go to McDonald's or you're living off McDonald's or there's these greasy fast food chains, then now you have all these health issues, and then you go to the doctors, and then the doctors are quick to prescribe you this X, Y, Z, and you thinking the doctor is whatever
in your corner.
in your corner, on your side,
Right.
But in essence, he's getting a percentage of everything he prescribes to you. It's
Facts.
just they're legal drug pushers,
Facts.
literally, and it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. The health industry
Yep.
push drugs like you wouldn't believe. They're the real criminals.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't know that unless you did your research, unless you understood that the medicine or the pills and all these things that they have you hooked on or prescribed to you, they're actually killing you just as quick as the bad foods that you're putting in your system, right? So now you're dependent upon these drugs, and you don't even know what these drugs are. You're just going off whatever this guy in a white coat is telling you, saying, man, you need this because you have this, that, and the third issue, but you don't realize, like, you don't know what's in these drugs. And now you become dependent on it, and if you're not educated enough to understand, like, the foods that you're eating is the reason why this is leading you down this road, then you're just going to go back, and it's going to remain a vicious cycle, right? So the nutrition is 90% of it, right? Because you can go to the gym every day, 365. You can sweat your ass off. You
Yep.
can do whatever, right?
If you eating bullshit.
If you leave there
Yeah.
and go to Chick-fil-A, and not to say Chick-fil-A is like the worst fast food, but I'm just throwing Chick-fil-A out there. You go to Chick-fil-A and you get a large fry and 2 chicken sandwiches, you kind of just threw your workout away, right? So
Right.
now you just wasted your time. All that work you put in was for nothing
Right.
because you backed that by a poor meal,
Right.
opposed to backing that with something that would be beneficial to you, which would actually expedite your results in the gym or work in tandem with that great exercise that you just had, right? So it's kind of like counterproductive. So we have to really understand and educate ourselves about the foods that we're putting in our system, right? Because the gym and exercise, it plays a back seat to nutrition all the time. Nutrition comes first, then it's the exercise, because the exercise is the only sharpen the foods that you're putting in your system.
Right. And the food is the fuel that it helps your body recover also.
Sure.
And because
Facts.
the once you finish your workout and you go eat a nice healthy meal, now at that you're enhancing your overall what's the word I'm looking for? You're enhancing the overall progress towards what your ultimate fitness goal is.
Sure.
Because you had this great workout, you're in a great mood, you go eat a good meal, now your mood's even better
Even more better.
because you have the fuel to do X, Y, and Z. If you go to Chick-fil-A or Checkers or whatever and you get this greasy ass burger, not only are you stuffed, because this the other thing too, as well.
Sure.
When you eat, you should eat to be satisfied, not eat to be stuffed. if when you're done eating and you gotta unbutton your pants or you gotta unbutton your shirt or
Sit
whatever,
down or lay down.
that's how you know you ate too much. And that thing called food coma, that's a real thing, bro.
Yeah, we've all been there. too.
That's a real thing,
I
bro.
went through that shit at work yesterday.
That's
I
a
said,
real
why
thing.
did I do that to myself?
Yeah, that food coma is a real
Yeah.
thing. And that's why they always say as well, before you go to bed, never eat right before you go to bed. Because
It's been an issue of mine.
because when you eat right before you go to bed, now all those calories are sticking to you.
You have to give your body food. You got to give your body time to digest that food, break it down. So if you just eat a large meal, especially if it's garbage,
Right.
and go to sleep, now it's like the food is just sitting in your stomach.
Right.
And what it does, it breaks down and it just gets stored as fat because your body is
Expands.
Like, your body's in this subconscious state while you're sleeping, right? You're not physically active. You're not physically awake. You are, but in essence, it's like your mind is resting, your body's resting,
Right.
and that food is just sitting there. And then that's why you wake up in the morning feeling bloated. You feel sluggish. You feel like you're dragging or you got an attitude.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Food has a lot to do. It has everything to do with how we operate, how we think, how we feel about ourselves. You know, the things that we tell ourselves. You know, so nutrition is key, man. You can't stress that enough. And then the craziest thing about these fast food chains and all these foods that we see in the grocery store that we know are not good for us.
Yeah.
They put certain ingredients in these foods to have our minds hooked on it. That way, when we see certain colors, we see certain signs. That's why in marketing, red is like the number one. It's the number one attention attractor. So if you're driving past like a Wendy's or or something like that, and you see the color red, you don't realize, but that in your mind, if you've had it before, it does something to your mind where it tells you like, oh wow,
Checkers.
Checkers, right?
Chick-fil-A.
And that's Chick-fil-A. Like they all have red within their logo or something like that. And they said that's like the number one color when it comes to like food advertising. That
KFC.
crazy, right?
Cheez-Its.
Cheez-It, and that's like my favorite snack.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, Cheez-Its and some Cheez-Its and them wheat thins.
Oh my
I
Jesus.
crush a whole box of cheese.
I'm telling you,
and
bro.
don't feel bad about it.
I'm telling you. But no, I'm on Black Demographics. And I go here all the time, blackdemographics.com. They got a whole host of different statistics for population, households, economics, education, culture and geography, health. I'm under health right now.
I'm telling you, bro, like
This is
I've been trying to like get my nutrition together. You know what I'm saying? Because when you wake up one morning and your sugar 450, you like, cause you gotta do something different. You know what I'm saying? And from working at restaurants and working at night for a long period of time and getting off late,
Eating late.
going to sleep because you tired. You know what I'm saying? From like constant doing that, you like, dude, you got to change because if you don't change, you can get up out of here. So with me is I'm not saying that I totally cut fast food out, but like the amount of veggies and fruits that I consume is a far cry from what I did. And then from me having a new job where I work during the day and now I can eat earlier and I see like the
Difference.
difference, feeling better. You know what I'm saying, from eating good. You know what I'm saying, taking a ham and cheese with some oranges and some grapes, make sure I got my vitamins, my protein. Feel a lot better when I go to the carryout. I didn't have my vitamins, didn't have my protein, didn't eat a little food or none of that. You know what I'm saying? I see that. And so I'm like slowly but surely trying to, get better. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm like glad to have you on the show.
Appreciate it.
Because I'm just trying to get better. They'll get better at that. And people see that since last summer, I lost 40 pounds.
That's good. Yeah.
So
good deal.
You know what I'm saying?
And counting.
Trying to get better. Now I got to buy a whole bunch of clothes. That's the sucky part.
Yeah.
That's the sucky part. You know what I'm
I
saying?
feel like that's a good part though, right?
Yeah.
It's a good part, but you know what I'm saying. But also, you know what I'm saying. You gotta buy a whole bunch of clothes.
You gotta spend that money, right?
Yeah, like it's like even the jeans I got on now. Like usually I can walk with them with no belt on. I need a belt.
Your belt, right?
I need a belt.
Right.
I need a belt. You know what I'm saying. So it's progress. You know what I'm saying. But high blood pressure going down. You know what I'm saying. Just trying to get better from a person who lost his dad at 53.
Wow, and that's young.
You know what I'm saying? Lost his dad at 53 and I was 13. So for me is, you know what I'm saying?
To health issues.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was the health issues, his liver. It was his liver, especially from
You're a drinker.
back in the day he was. Not when I was,
Sure.
not when I was alive, but back in the day.
Back
he
in the
was.
day, right?
You know what I'm saying? He was in Vietnam. You already know,
TSD.
all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Played a part. So for me, I try to like make sure my mental health is okay because that can affect your physical health as well.
Facts.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? You ever been so fucked up in your head that your body start hurting for no reason?
It starts to
Yes.
feel it.
Facts.
It started to feel it yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, matter of fact, I'm glad I brought that up. I saw this one. They did this experiment where they had these two plants.
Okay.
Two plants. They watered the same. They got the same sunlight, same care, and all of that.
Yeah.
But they had kids come talk to them. One group of kids talked to one. Another group of kids talked to another.
Okay.
One was saying negative things to it,
To the plant.
to the plant.
Wow.
And another group was saying another positive.
Same plant.
Same plant, same water, same sunlight, all
Same
that.
soil.
Same care.
Same care,
Same
all
everything.
that. The one that was saying positive things grew up, sprouted, and it was good. The other one sprouted a little bit, but it dampened.
Interesting.
Really?
It dampened.
A plant.
A plant.
A plant can you imagine what a human can go through doing that? If it could plant,
I'm mind blown that that
I
could
need
be.
to find that video.
I need to find it too.
So plants
Because
got
when I
ears,
saw
man,
that,
that's
it was mind boggling. If a plant can go through something like that, what you think happened to a you know what I'm saying? Because everybody say sticks and stones, but it's every time you always hear something negative, that's gonna do something to your mind, body,
mind.
and soul.
Absolutely.
It's going to.
You sure it was no other variables?
No, I'm dead. I'm
crazy,
dead
bro.
sure.
That's crazy.
I'm dead sure.
Wow.
I'm dead sure. I don't remember where I seen it at,
Yeah.
but I know if we look it up, we can find it. But yeah, when I seen that, I was like,
Great example.
you know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. Even if you doing all the right things, I know people who, physical they good, but they mental gone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if you don't got that, that's all in one. You know what I'm saying?
It's one entity.
It's one entity.
It's one
You know what I'm
entity.
saying? It's all about your health, and health
Mental
could be-
health is important, man.
is way important, man.
And
It's
that-
way important, and a lot of especially me because I used to I don't do it as much, but I used to stress eat. I used to stress eat.
Me too.
I used to stress eat, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm going through something. You know what I'm saying? I bust down. I go eat to get my mind up. I never get the first time I ever got stood up. It was at the Outback. I got stood up, and I was so upset that I left the Outback, went to the Jerry's across this, and spent like $30 on food by myself and crushed it right there. 'Cause I was sad.
That's real.
I was sad, and I was right when I was getting ready to go to college, to ski to play football, and I was like working my ass off. But me being that sad broke everything I was doing and just splurged out because I was sad. A lot of people go through that. A lot of people go through that when they feel different emotions. They use food, you know what I'm saying, to fill that void. So, you think you found the video?
Even alive?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I think this is. I think this is it. Yeah. I think this is the video because it was like a. I was looking like at a podcast and they was talking about the experiment and they was showing different clips of the experiment and all that. So yeah. Can you imagine growing up in a you know what I'm saying growing up in a negative household?
Right.
What that do to a
Right,
person?
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Not only negative, but growing up in a household where there's a lack of education from the adults to the kids regarding nutrition, right? Because the kid is only going to follow.
Look.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man. That's crazy.
The kid is only going to follow what the adult does, right? The
Right.
kid is only going to follow what the parent does and what the parent teaches them. So if I'm putting all this
Thank
garbage,
you, Brian.
if I'm putting all this garbage in the cart,
Right.
you know, like what chance does the child have? You're only going to eat what my mom and dad are feeding you, right?
Right.
So if you're eating all these sugars and high saturated foods, X, Y, Z, these meats and things of that nature, you know, slowly but surely, you're gonna. And it's sad because I go to the grocery store now and I can just look at a cart. I can look at a cart and I don't even have to look at the person behind the cart to understand or to have a depiction in my mind what that person would look like, right? I can look at the cart and tell you the current, probably get an idea of the current physique,
Right.
the possible health issues that this person is going through, or just the lack of understanding when it comes to nutrition. And it's sad because if they have a little one, you can look at the little one and tell, like, wow, they're a reflection of the parent.
Right.
You know, and the parent is a reflection of the lack of awareness as to what they're not only doing to themselves, but their child.
Right.
And it's sad, you know, really is sad. And to piggyback off what you said, man, like, we're all human, right? Nobody's perfect. I find myself in the midst of it doing it too, whereas though I eat out of anxiety, right? So I'll eat whereas though, like, if I start thinking about things that make me nervous or things that like about the future or like things that I need to get done and that could potentially stress me out, or I don't know the outcome of how they're going to turn out, right? I'll be like, man, I need a snack, or I need something. I need to eat on something that way I can kind of like work this out in my mind or try to figure it out, right? Or there's just that stress eating, like you mentioned, right? Food is a coping method for millions of Americans, right? Like they need food, or food is like their go-to to kind of relieve whatever anxieties or stressors that they have in their mind, and it's something that needs to be addressed and something that needs to be worked on, because if you're not safe, it can lead you down a really bad rabbit hole.
So I'm going to. So this is statistic on Black demographics. This was taken in 2015 and 2016. So this was 7, 8 years ago.
Several years
Obesity percentage by race, ages 20 and over. Black folks, men, 37%. Females, 55%. Hispanics, 43% for the men, 51% for the women. White folks, 38% for men, 38% for white women. Asian,
That's surprisingly low.
10% for men,
ago. like 50.
10% for men for the Asian men, and 15% for the women.
Oh yeah.
The one that sticks out because the men are all pretty much the same, except Asian men. 55% for our women. This was in 2015, 2016.
At what age?
Ages
20
20
up.
and over.
Obesity.
Yes.
55%.
55%.
That's crazy.
Do you think that percentage has gone
In Spanish
up
is 51.
or down?
Oh, that percentage is increasing.
Hey,
For sure.
For sure.
Has to.
What was your question, bro?
Huh?
Was your question about the Hispanics?
No, Hispanic. It was 51 for the female.
51% for the women.
Surprised at 38% for white women. No disrespect to white women. I'm just saying. I've seen a lot of. I'm just saying. 38%. That's kind of surprisingly low.
Not really. I mean, because even if they're in a poor location, they still have it a little bit better when it comes to options and or what they decide to eat.
That's a fact.
But for our sisters, 55% back in 2015, 2016, and like this is.
Might have got lower.
I hope it got lower.
Might have got lower.
If you're saying over half of our women ages 20 and up are obese, over half ages 20 and up, I hope it's gone down.
I'm starting to see more women lose a lot of weight. So
and it's great.
I think it might got lower.
I hope so.
They probably did with all this, fitness
Yeah.
stuff going on these days.
Yeah, it's a lot of people I know that did some body transformation. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, see, because we only know
but that's just
we only know we're in the area in which we're
our
in.
area. You know what I'm saying?
We still got the other 49 states.
Yeah. Is Mississippi still the fattest state in the? It was the fattest state for a minute.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, you go down the SIP.
It might still be up there.
You go down the SIP.
Yeah, it might still be up there. But no, like I even remember when I went to Toronto.
That's kind of insane.
What?
They the fattest, but also the brokest.
Yeah,
Which means something, right? That means,
it's a correlation.
that means like the food options,
Wow.
what they're subjected to, or what's available to them, isn't going to be the healthiest, right?
Wow.
And if you don't have the proper funds,
Right.
like you're subject to go eat what you can afford, and a lot of times
Absolutely.
that's the cheaper food, and the cheaper food is typically the fast foods where they're selling you 20 nuggets for $1.
Then at the same time, they getting robbed by Brett Favre. Like that's crazy.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
And he's a multi-millionaire.
Crazy.
Right.
He sold like millions. I'm like, dude. I'm like, yo. I'm like, y'all. That's insane, bro. Like, I'm like, this dude is out of control.
Bro, I remember, for example, when I went to Toronto for my birthday last year.
Nice.
Yeah, he did that.
It was solo trip, by the
He
way.
ain't had no poutine though. Go ahead.
No king fries.
No
Yeah, we ain't gonna
poutine.
talk. We ain't gonna talk about that, man. Yeah, we ain't gonna talk about that. Yeah, we ain't gonna talk about that. But anyway, I went up there, and it was crazy because I can point out very easily like who was obese. Down here, it's everywhere. Up there, it's a little bit different. I mean, you saw more people that was the size they should be for their height. And it was kind of weird on my eyes because I'm like, yo, damn, you're not really seeing people.
And they got free healthcare up there too.
It's Canada, bro. I know. That's a whole nother topic for another day. But you were seeing people who were in pretty decent
Shape.
shape.
That influenced that too.
I mean, I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole too deeply, but the whole health insurance thing, I don't think that has a correlation with the choices we make with our food. That's
not a big one.
It's not a big one. That's a whole separate.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was a big factor.
Yeah, that's a whole separate thing. I think because we all have choices at the end of the day, and so like we stated, despite having McDonald's or Checkers or whatever right around the corner, go to the grocery store. Learn to read the nutrition label.
Yeah,
I remember when I was in the military, and I was a fitness instructor. When I was taking the class, our instructor told us, when you go to the grocery store, learn to read the nutrition label and learn what each of those items on there is and what it means and how much means what. And I remember when I still do it to this day. I remember when I first started doing it when I was living up in Hanover by the mall. And I was at the grocery store getting my groceries. And like some of the women was looking at me kind of funny. Like, why are you reading the nutrition label? Why are you grocery shopping by yourself? Like, I'm a single man. I can't do that.
Yeah, they asking all the
Damn.
wrong
I
questions.
can't. Hold on. I can't go to the grocery store and buy groceries for myself.
Damn.
They ask all the wrong
Like,
questions.
yeah, where's your lady? Like, what you talking about? Lady, get out my face, man. Groceries. No, but it was weird for them seeing a man read the nutrition label. I don't know why, but it was weird for them seeing a man read the nutrition label.
Because we don't. That's why.
But yeah, because we don't,
Yeah.
and as black people, we don't do that. We just pick up what we like.
We grab what we know. We just throw it. Oh, I've had this before. This tastes good.
Right.
I'm making this tonight. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Not even realizing that, like, man, you don't even know what these folks are putting in these foods.
Right.
You gotta take the
Right.
time to look at that. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
man,
Yeah, it's insane what they put in some of this stuff. You know what I'm
it's-
saying?
majority of the stuff.
It's insane, and I never get. I first learned that when I was in high school. This shout out to Miss Anderson. If you out there, Miss Anderson, how you doing? I never get. I got late, and we was having like the program I was in high school. We have therapy sessions, and we had a therapy session. I got there late from school, so I had got some 7-Eleven on the way there, and I was like, "Can I eat my food?" She was like, "Yeah, go ahead." So, I had a red Gatorade. I remember
Yeah.
busting that joint down, and then acting a little foolish after that. You know how I was back then, especially back then. And then she was like, "You was just so calm, and now all of a sudden you hyper and all that. Let me see that bottle." And she showed me. She was like, "You see, like when you get, especially when you have red drinks, they put something called Red Dye 99, and it hyper what she say? She hyper stimulates you, and it mess with your brains and all that, and it make you extra hyper for no reason."
see the
And I was
yeah.
like, wow, because I really saw my behavior change
Wow.
when
crazy,
drink,
wow.
after I drunk that. So when she said it, I was like,
See, the problem as black people is when we look at the ingredients, we get stuck at a couple of words that we know, and we don't worry about nothing else.
Nothing else.
Those long ass words, we don't even care what it is.
yeah.
But it's important to understand what that stuff is too, and what it does to you.
Hell yeah, I know you was fucked up just as much as me when all our Muslim friends in Duval were eating Skittles. I said, "Why y'all eating Skittles? It's pork and Skittles. It's pork and Skittles? What are you talking about? It's pork and Skittles. Why is it pork and Skittles? Do you do the little nutrition? We go on Google. It's pork and Skittles. Pork and Doritos. It's crazy the amount of stuff. What they put in there, man. I'm telling you, dog.
And they got certain things called like Red 40,
Yeah.
Blue, whatever.
Yeah.
All those are like added chemicals that mess with your brain chemistry, right? It gets you to be hooked on these certain things. Whereas, like when you see them, like I mentioned before, it's just like, oh, like I've had this before. It tastes good. That sugar intake, but the additional chemicals or whatever, the processed things that they're putting in these sugars, these candies, these foods, it distorts your brain chemistry. Now it's making you more susceptible to want to keep engaging in these foods, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like you mentioned, we have to do a better job of understanding the labeling on the back. I'm so health conscious, whereas though most of my shopping is done right when I walk into the grocery store, and that's where majority of the shopping should be done, in the produce aisle. You know, they put every time you walk into the grocery store,
This is where you should be at.
what's the first thing you see? You see the fruits, you see
The veggies.
everything that's like refrigerated and things of that nature. That's where 95% of your shopping should be done. The
And
other
as soon as you pass that, that will go to meat section. As soon as you pass that joint, the milkshake, and all that. I'm like, damn, I gotta get it together. But not just in food though. We gotta do that in like stuff that we put on our bodies as well. Because some of these body washes, like the FDA, they are synthetic detergents, and we put this in our body.
on our body.
You know what I'm saying? Tap water for what we get on the a lot of people say we should get like, I'm thinking about getting one of them carbon carbon filters for your shower. Because the tap water nowadays, you hear about all
That's
these
important.
different stories about the tap water, what's going on in Ohio, what was going on in Philly, Michigan for a long period of time.
It's
crazy.
still going on.
Still
It's not
going on.
over.
It's not. That's crazy.
It's not over.
That's insane.
It's not over, yeah.
Wow.
But the point that you made about the produce, that's important because as soon as you come into the grocery store, it's right there.
It's right there.
But where do people go? They make that hard left turn,
Or the hard
that
right,
hard
or the
right
juice
turn,
right there.
or they stay straight. It's like, yeah, I'm
Exactly.
going into the where the cookies and the cakes
and then they
are.
come back to the produce and grab some onions or whatever. No, that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
Just because you just stop at the grocery store, that don't mean you healthy. You know what I'm saying? You can be buying a whole bunch of bullshit. They got bullshit at the grocery store too. So don't be like, oh, we eat fast food, but do you still eat nutritionists? Like, what the hell? You can get Little Debbie at the grocery store. You know what I'm saying? You get all fried foods at the grocery store. Like,
And
you know what I'm saying?
And then a lot of the stuff like we all like our dressings, right? Like your Caesar or your ranch or your blue cheese or your honey mustard or whatever the case may be. Folks don't realize that like if you're going to grab some type of condiment or some type of dressing, just be advised that the ones that you should be grabbing, if they're not behind that refrigerator, if they're not refrigerated already prior to you grabbing them, that's a red flag, right? Because how are these things just sitting on the shelf so long, or is it just like, oh, I'm about to just grab this because I've had it before, right? Not realizing that, like, why is the thing on the shelf and can survive this long on the shelf, right? Because they add preservatives to maintain the shelf life, right? And that alone is a red flag because it's like, well, what are they adding in this to extend the life of this product?
Good
right?
point. Yep.
Why would I be putting this in my body? You know, obviously, it's going to taste like how you know it's going to taste. It's going to taste good. But at the same time, what they're adding in it isn't necessarily good for you.
Right.
So you should always seek to grab the things that are already pre-refrigerated because that lets you know that at a certain point it will. What's the word I'm looking for?
It would deteriorate and go bad.
It'll expire,
right?
As it normally should, right? Opposed to that stuff that's on the counter. You'll see the same bottle of blue cheese 3 weeks later. It's just like, damn, like why is this up there? You know what I'm saying? So it's just you got to be mindful. We have to educate ourselves. We have to really do our research about what are they putting in these foods and understanding that a lot of these health issues are not stemming. They don't just come out of the sky like the high blood pressure, the diabetes, the cancers of the world. It all is a derivative of the food that we're putting in our system.
And it's crazy because when you buy that blue cheese or you buy that ranch from off of that shelf you grab outside the refrigerator, the minute you refrigerate it, you can leave it in there for months.
Forever, right?
And it lasts and it's still good. It's still good, bro. But so to your point, it makes a lot of sense because the minute you refrigerate it, you can leave that piece of ranch dressing in the fridge for 2-3 months and it's still good to go.
It still be good, right?
But the one that's refrigerated already, it has a shelf life.
You got to consume that quick.
You have to consume that
Yeah, that's a fact.
because it will go bad.
Wow.
My man Kevin said the preservatives, the chemicals that they put in it, the preservatives, so
What's up, y'all?
you able to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's what. You know what I'm saying? When I start eating, as a kid, you start eating the kid cuisine and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you be like, yo, how
like
they
the
able,
worst.
how they able to, ship all this and we still eat it, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, how is this possible? You hungry man when you get teenager, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? But you start learning about that shit, you're like, damn.
It is true.
You know what I'm saying? You can't keep putting that shit in your body. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta have moderation, though. You gotta be able to be, like, pure. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see all these holistic healers and stuff like that. Like, some of them be on some BS, but some of them be talking about some real stuff that they don't tell you. You know what I'm saying? Like, the lymphatic system. What the hell is that? I never heard of none of that in high school and none of that. What is the lymphatic system? And you start hearing stuff like that. You start hearing about, the regular H2O that we drink. That's not the water molecules that's in your body. The water molecules in your body, I think it's H3O2, something like that. If I'm messing up the name of it, I'm sorry. Yeah. But like the fruit, the same water molecules is in fruit. So that's when they tell you to have a fruit diet and they get get your
alkaline diet.
Yeah, alkaline diet. Get the fruit. Use your like walnuts and nuts for your protein and stuff like that. That's how the body is supposed to function. Supposed to function all berries and fruits and
You're not
nuts.
supposed to be eating meat.
We're not supposed to be doing none of that. For real. They said meat is not even red. They said it's gray, and they put, they spray red on it. I'm like, that's crazy.
Listen,
I'm like, what? I'm like,
When meat starts to go
dog.
bad, it starts to turn gray.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. And because my girl is on me about it now as far as eating red meat. Because I love me some steak and lamb.
Yeah, you got rid of pork though.
I got rid of pork.
I love
I got rid of pork at the beginning, New Year's Day of last year. I got rid of that, so I don't eat that no more. But with the red meats, that's coming soon too, because that's how we get high cholesterol as men.
I just ate the steak last.
But what is also important, but what's also important too for us is to clean our produce. Like clean our fruits, clean our vegetables, because it'd be all kinds of shit. It'd be like worms and all kinds of stuff being there if you don't clean it properly. Like rinsing off with water is not enough. Like you gotta.
And the fact that you even mentioned that, like the fact that because even if you cleaned it, like to what degree is that considered clean? Because if you got worms and other bacteria or other specimen just chilling in the meat, how do you determine that this thing is
it's clean enough,
it's good enough to eat? Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I heard like warm water. I mean hot water. Well, hot water. You
shouldn't even have to do that.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
I was just about to say that we shouldn't have to do that.
And it's crazy. Like sometimes I sit and I just think like I went to Chick-fil-A the other day, right? And I usually grab the same thing. Like I'll get like a salad, right? Like a spicy Southwest salad.
Yeah.
A little bit, not the healthiest, but healthier than the traditional menu.
Yeah.
But in my mind, when I'm leaving and I'm eating all my fries and stuff like that, and I got my little dressing or like my ranch or my Chick-fil-A sauce, I'm like, yo, Chick-fil-A line is always packed.
Yeah.
McDonald's line is always packed.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
At what rate are they slaughtering these animals to be able to produce all this chicken and pump out all this chicken, whereas though these lines are wrapped around every day, 12 noon, and they outputting so much meat. I'm like, dude, there has to be some type of unknown story where they're like accelerating the growth of these.
That's exactly what they do.
Animals, whereas though they can slaughter them that fast and be able to.
I'm glad you.
That's the chicken
exactly
pumping.
what it is.
I'm like, dude, these guys not running out of chicken.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because I have a funny story about something like that.
It blows my mind.
I'm telling you, I have a funny story about that. So when I went to college down in Alabama, I went for animal science.
Okay.
Animal and poultry science. So
it's interesting.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody know in every HBCU, on Wednesdays and Fridays, Wednesday, fried chicken Wednesday, Friday, fried fish Friday. Everybody know that.
Okay.
Everybody know that. So like, I be like in my mind, because I know I'm in animal science and all that. And when I started getting into it, I was like, are they gonna show us where it's coming from? So one day for lab, they was like, yeah, we going to the chicken house. I was like, the chicken house?
The chicken house.
It was at this moment he knew.
Like, yeah, where
he fucked up.
Yeah, I was like, where they breed the chickens. I'm like, where they breed and kill the chickens? It was like, yeah. I was like, man, when I tell you we went in that joint, man.
Where was y'all at specifically? Was it like an actual slaughterhouse, as a farm, or was it just like they were just showing you?
On the campus, it's the farm. It's on the campus.
Wow.
Like plantations. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the initial campus, and then the rest of the campus is farm.
That's crazy.
It's farm. It was crazy the like with the drive in there when you drive, like you on an actual dirt road. You know what I'm saying?
Of course, you in Alabama.
Yeah, I'm in Alabama. You gotta understand. We in the middle of nowhere. Tuskegee not on the map.
Right. Yeah.
Tuskegee is not on the map. You see Auburn and you see Mobile, and I tell everybody, I was like, You see Auburn and Mobile, we right there.
Right.
We in the middle. You know what I'm saying? We right in the middle. You know what I'm saying? So we like actually went on a field trip, which threw me off because I didn't know we go field trips to college.
To college,
I
right?
didn't know we go field trips to college. That threw me off. We go to the fair, the state fair, to look at the livestock show. You know what I'm saying? Like we did that. So like I literally seen some shit. You know what I'm saying? And we eventually went to a slaughterhouse, which was also awful. But we didn't go in, but I saw enough. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I saw enough. But in that chicken house, man, we seen how they had the chickens. It was like they had the chickens like in a cage, and then when they take them out, they put them on a conveyor belt to take them out. And then they go through when they pluck them and all that. And when I tell you, when the dude was
You seen this?
seen this. I ain't seen them kill him though.
Yeah.
I ain't seen them kill him. But they
You
was
saw
telling
them.
them how the process,
The
how it
process,
goes.
right?
And they break their neck before they chop their head off so it could be an easy cut. Easy cut, you know what I'm saying? So while he's saying this, it's a dead chicken head on his foot, in his boot.
Was this whole chicken there?
It's a whole it's a
Or was
head.
It was just the head of the
Just
chicken?
the head, eyes open and all, mouth open.
Oh, wow. On his foot, just chilling.
And you get it get real. It get real. You know what I'm saying? It get real. Cause I can imagine, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't watch this particular anime, but you know, Attack on Titan. You heard about Attack on Titan? It's about giants that live. There's giants that live among humans.
Okay.
And can you imagine if they hungry, they can just eat us. You know what I'm saying? And they be like, that's fucked up and all that, but we doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we doing the same fucking thing. And it's like, it was mind-boggling at the time. Still ate the chicken. But I was like, but it was still like, it was like, do we have to do this? And then the rapper RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan, he turned vegan a long time ago. And he was saying, nothing has to die for me to live. And I was like, that's real. But at the same time, you're a vegan, all these plants and stuff. It's a lot of life you ripping up on that soil.
But I mean, plants are living.
We're living people too. So that's why when they say that, I'm like,
living things too.
I'm like,
yeah.
y'all killing people too. So y'all just doing it healthier.
It's the same. It's the same.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just say moderation, and you know what I'm saying. Either if you're gonna do moderation or just be pure. That's what I
Wow.
say. And I'm trying to do more moderation.
That's a good point.
Because I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna live my whole life without eating meat. That's not about to happen.
Not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. Chris. It's just not gonna happen.
I feel it.
It's
though.
not happening.
I feel it.
You know what I'm saying? But if I can moderate it and more better than, you know what I'm saying, have enough energy to go exercise like I should, you know what I'm saying, I think I'd be better. And that's what I started doing. I started seeing the progress. You know what I'm saying? But for all y'all vegans out there, I'm still eating ribs, chicken and all that. I'm just not gonna eat it every other day. How about that?
You know how you notice how a vegan looks at you when you tell them like, oh yeah, I'm eating
you right about
ribs
that,
or I'm
brother.
eating chicken or whatever. They look at you like
Pigs are worse.
like you a scum of the earth or something.
I'm
Like,
telling you.
like
You done killed
like,
all these
bro, like,
bugs,
hold on,
like-
like time out. Like I know, God, like you haven't been a vegan all your life. Like stop the cap, bro.
Right,
Cut
right.
it out, man.
Right.
They look at you like you wicked.
And all vegan stuff isn't healthy either.
Exactly. My man was just saying that.
Because it says vegan don't
Exactly,
mean
bro.
vegan for you.
Exactly.
Beer and
Exactly.
fries are considered to be vegan. So, like, you know what I'm saying? You can be a fat, unhealthy vegan.
Yeah.
The fuck is you talking about?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's true.
I know people who eat meat who healthy. And I know people who don't and not healthy. Like,
Yeah.
you got to understand what you're putting in your body. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to do your research when it comes to anything you putting in your system. Like how we was talking about with health. With mental health when we had Devin wife on. You have to do the same thing.
Shout out to Nika.
Shout out to Nika. We got to do the same thing with your body as far as what we put in our body as far as food and water and all that.
I mean, it's a revolving thing. Like they all need each other. You know, good diet, exercising, good sleep.
Yeah.
Because let's not forget the sleep part.
Rest is important.
Rest is very important because if your sleep is off, well, the next day that's going to carry over. You can't get up and go do your workout how you normally would.
Go to work.
It's right. It's going to throw off your. So all of that together is very, very important. You can't have an inadequacy in one or the other, because if you do,
You gotta find that balance.
you're not going to be feeling your best. Yeah.
Because if you don't get your rest, you're not giving your body time to properly recover. You're not giving your muscles time to properly heal. You're not giving your brain the rest it needs to be able to function properly for the next day, and so on and so forth. So it's in essence, it's like you're running on fumes and trying to perform at a high level, but there's no. It's like putting 87 in a Ferrari.
Right.
You might not even make it to the next light.
Right.
before
It's
that
going
thing-
to be. Yeah. It's not going to work.
It's
Yeah.
not gonna work.
It's really bad when you literally like struggling to get through the day because you didn't have enough rest, and you like literally like forcing your body to like, come on, like we good, like
Push through the day kind of thing.
push through the day. You know you're not good. Ever since like, cause I'm used to working at restaurant jobs now. Since I have a regular 9 to 5 or an 8, I've been sleeping my ass off. You hear me? I've been sleeping my ass off. Dang, I was calling you. I was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was knocked out. You know what I'm
Now
saying?
think about it like this, right? Like, just to take what you said, think about it if you're not getting enough sleep, right? And then you're going through the next day like, man, I'm tired, or you falling asleep standing up, or things of that nature. And then you go add to that by putting more garbage in your system.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just like you running on fumes, and it's just like you putting more trash in the system.
Mm-hmm.
Now you even feel more worse than what you normally should have. You feel me? Because now you're aiding that lack of sleep,
Like
lack
a
of
sleep
recovery,
with a whole bunch of bullshit.
a whole bunch of trash for real, and expecting you to. And now you're expecting just because you ate something that you should feel better. Now you're even more tired. Now you want to crash.
Right.
Now it's like your body's shutting down. Your mind is shutting down. You know what I'm saying? So it can become a snowball effect if you're not aware of what you're doing.
And then you have to work harder to get the trash out your system, because you just peeing or shitting it out. That's only a small portion.
Yeah.
You gotta cleanse your insides.
That's a fact.
And the fact that you mentioned that as well too, as us men, every month we should be doing at least a colon cleanse once a month. And imagine the folks have never cleaned their colon, right? They got years of bacteria backed up in their gut, and gut health goes hand in hand with mental health, right? Because if your gut is not clean, your mind isn't clean, right? You got all this bacteria, all these poor foods that you've been just sitting in your stomach for years. It's like your septic tank, right? It needs to get emptied, right? So that'll help you a lot as to how you feel, right? Because gut health is important, man. It's like the centralized part of your system, your core. And if your core is clogged up, if your gut is clogged up, like it's like your whole body's clogged up. Everything is foggy. There's no clarity, right? So,
Right.
And that's where like that colon cancer stems from. And people are like, oh, what is your colon? What is your colon? Man, folks, we got to really educate ourselves, man, because nobody's going to do it for us. Nobody's going to
that's
take
a
the
fact.
time to be like, hey, black population, let's sit down and educate you on how to get you healthy. They want us to get stuck on the fast food. They want to keep sending us to the doctor. They want us to keep spending our money with these fast food chains and being hooked on these drugs and killing us off. Like it goes back to what we said, it's systematic. Why is there a Chinese restaurant on every block? Why is there Checkers on every block? Why is there Chick-fil-A, a 7-Eleven? Royal Farms is taking over. I'm seeing
Facts.
Royal Farms on every street.
24-hour smoke shop.
The tobacco places. Like I live in District Heights. There is 3 Royal Farms.
Mm-hmm.
Less than a mile. Not even a mile. Not even a quarter mile.
And what do they all
You know what I'm
sell?
saying?
Chicken boxes.
Bruh.
Gas and chicken. They got low gas and chicken.
Hip hop chicken and fish. It's y'all seeing the trend?
Yeah.
You know, and the Asians are running everything. The Arabs,
They open at 3 o'clock too. Open at 3 to 4.
The Arabs are running everything.
Go-go, you can still get a carry out.
You know what I'm saying? Why the Arabs that are running these things, they work there, but they don't look like the folks that's ordering the food. Is that not making any sense? Are we not noticing certain trends? They're selling us the crap, but they don't look like they eat the crap.
Man, y'all better soak all this free game up.
Wow, what's going on, man? Why is there a 24-hour tobacco shop open on every corner? Why is there a liquor store
every corner across
every
the street?
other store? Come on, man. Like, it's so systematic, but as soon as you cross the bridge to Alexandria, you got all the healthy food options.
Facts.
You got places you never even heard of. You like, man,
Listen,
I've never seen this joint.
Listen, the minute you get to Alexandria
Bruh.
and you work your way to Arlington and then McLean and then start working towards
They got all
Ferndon and
these vegan
Chantilly,
shops and
bruh.
all that. They
Oh
got
my
one place that just do Pilates. Nothing else, just Pilates. You here for Pilates?
I think Fox News reported, Fox 5 News, they reported, I think last year, that Arlington County, I think, was like the healthiest county in the country.
Wow.
Arlington. Virginia. Right down the road. It's the healthiest county in the country.
In the country.
Yes.
That's insane.
That's wild. It's a big
But
concept.
it makes sense, though.
It does make sense. You can see the difference. You go right across the bridge, you're not seeing no tobacco joints. 24/7? God, you're not seeing that. You're not seeing the Asians on every block with the carryouts, right? Like them folks going crazy with the carryout, man. And it's a shame, man. We really gotta open our eyes to see, like, man, this is systematic. You know, it's really sad, but we just gotta do better. And we have to have more folks who are willing to educate our own people, right? Like, it starts within, right? We can't expect somebody from another racial group to come in and teach us what we should be already knowing. You know what I'm saying? So,
Any real quick, any closing remarks before we get up out of here? Let the people know what your social media is.
Throw that out there. Throw that ad out there.
Yep. The social media is sweat, like you're sweating, sweat for the check. Pretty simple, right? And then you can find me on YouTube, one word, sweat check. Follow me for motivation. Follow me for tips, guidance. And hey, man, if you have a question about training, personal training, hit me up. We can get the ball rolling, get you going, and then help you on your path to a better, more improved, healthy lifestyle.
Scoop real quick, anything?
Real quick, on Tuesday, 15 years ago, a blessing was in this world in the shape of my nephew. Nephew, happy birthday. I love you so much. Growing up to be a wonderful young man, and I want you to continue to do what you're doing. And we're going to have fun today. And I love you. And y'all all know, like and subscribe, like and subscribe on YouTube. We on Instagram and Spotify. Nobody lay it down like Spade of Spades.
Love you too,
coming on. All right, y'all. That's it for today's show. Appreciate y'all tuning into the show. We are Spade of Spade podcast. Yes, get healthy. We are out. We'll see y'all in a couple weeks. Thank y'all.
Get money and drink water.